Welcome again to my channel. I am Tolu David. Here is where we all sit together at the feet of wisdom, sharing knowledge. Where iron sharpeneth iron, we working together to attain good understanding. And talking about iron sharpening iron, I want to share quickly with us the scripture, which is Ecclesiastic chapter 10, verse 10. I'll read the NLT version. It says, using a dull axe requires great strength. So sharpen the blade. That's the value of wisdom. It helps you succeed. Meaning, it is important to apply wisdom. In some other version, it says, wisdom is profitable to direct. Meaning, if we want to succeed in life, it is very important for us to apply wisdom so that the journey of a day will become 1,000 years. Like the scripture I shared in the last video, that we should get wisdom by all means, get understanding. That is what we are trying, and by God's grace, we are going to accomplish together in this channel. So in our lives, in our homes, in our business, in our Christian living, wisdom is profitable to direct. So in all that we do, let us walk towards attaining wisdom. And that is the scripture I want to share. But to save us time, I want to go straight to our quote for the day, which is the third quote in the book, Oasis of Wisdom. Remember, we are still working on Oasis of Wisdom, and we are not even scratching the surface yet. We are trying to scratch the surface. So this is the third quote. Before we take the quote, like usual, we would love to read the scriptures. At first, when I was going through it, I thought I was going to just read one quote because it has about 4 Bible references. I thought I was just going to take one, but I realized that for the author to put the scriptures there, there's a need for us to go through them one after the other so we can get better understanding of what the quote is about. So we'll take the quotes one after the other. The first quote is taken in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1 and 2, and it is written in the Amplified Version. I read, "Therefore become imitators of God, copy him and follow his example. As well-beloved children, imitate their father and walk continually in love. That is, value one another, practice empathy and compassion, unselfishly seeking the best for others, just as Christ has loved you and gave himself up for us, an offering and sacrifice to God, slain for you so that it became a sweet fragrance." That is the first scripture. The second scripture is taken from 1 Corinthians chapter 11, from verse 1 to 3. And it says, "Imitate me just as I imitate Christ. I praise and appreciate you because you remember me in everything and you firmly hold to the traditions, the substance of my instructions, just as I have passed them on to you. But I want you to understand that Christ is the head, authority over every man, and man is the head of woman, and God is the head of Christ." The third scripture is taken from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. And it says, "Let no one look down on you because of your youth, but be an example and set a pattern for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in moral, that is purity. That is the third scripture. And the fourth scripture is taken from Matthew chapter 10 from verse 24 and 25. It says, a disciple is not above his teacher, nor is a bond servant above his master. It is enough for the disciple to be like his teacher and the bond servant like his master. If they had called the head of the house Beelzebul, which is Satan, how much more will they speak evil of the members of his household? These are the scripture where this quote is taken from. I'm not taking much of our time. The quote says, which is the third quote in the book, says, you may not be able to beat your experience. Learn to work with it and make the best of it. You may not be able to beat your experience. Learn to work with it and make the best of it. That is the third scripture. And now, my little understanding, looking at the scripture, if Christ, who we are designed to follow, we want to take after, went through trials and tribulations, went through was called names and all that, meaning you who are his followers should be prepared. There are some experiences that we have to pass through, we have to go through. But we should not let this experience deter us from doing the assignment God has given to us. Unfortunately, a whole lot of us have jumped out of the making process. You see, these processes are things that make us, that are part of the things that build it is what we call experience. It is something we have to go through. But if we jump out of it, you're looking at how to avoid the experience. If you avoid the experience, you might miss the message. So learn to work with it. Ask, what should I do? What is the message? What am I supposed to learn from this? And how do I make sure that when next I'm going to challenge, or someone that is following my footsteps is going to challenge this, how do we navigate our way around it or make the best of it? That is my little understanding of this quote, which says, and I repeat, you may not be able to beat your experience. Learn to work with it and make the best of it. Learn from it. Make the best. Make the most of it. Let people see Jesus in us, even while we go through this experience. God bless you. I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.